One day, I was sitting in my chair when a notification from one of my favorite channels popped up, That Guy Glenn. I clicked on it, and after 16 minutes of information, I was already hooked. What's the topic of the video, you ask? Roots of Pacha, a new Stardew Valley inspired farming game. But like Stardew Valley, it is much more to it than it seems at surface value. A brief description from the Kickstarter says, Roots of Pacha is a co-op farming and life simulation game set in the Stone Age. Help your nomadic clan settle in a promised and fertile land. By connecting with nature, you'll help develop ideas to evolve, enrich your culture, relationships, and discover the mysteries of Pacha, Mother Nature. But now, let's give a little bit more information about the game, so you can see if you're interested. The studio behind the game is a small indie one called Soda Den that was founded by two brothers, Timo and Johnny. According to the Kickstarter, the game was envisioned from memories of passing the controller back and forth while playing Harvest Moon. Ironically, also how Stardew Valley was dreamed up. The game is set in the Stone Age, and they say that they got inspiration from a book, The Clan of the Cave Bear, and how humans created something inconceivable from practically nothing, our society. According to the interview with That Guy Glenn, this is the studio's first game, and they're very excited to put it out there. Apparently one of the sparks was, what if you were the first farmer ever? And they pretty much just built off that. The main inspiration was Harvest Moon Back to Nature, but also partially Stardew Valley, Rune Factory, My Time at Portia, and Graveyard Keeper. It was also heavily inspired by the building game Pharaoh, an isometric building game released in 1997. How will season/time affect the game? A really interesting concept actually. Players will not know the exact time until they develop a sundial, which I think is a pretty awesome idea actually. The weather will be predicted by your grandma using bones, and over the course of the game, she will get better and better at it so you can get more accurate predictions. The weather will also affect the map, like Stardew Valley, but different parts of the game will react differently. For example, the jungle will never freeze over, and the tundra will always stay frozen, even in summer. How far is the game into development? Everything you see in the trailer is functioning in the game and could be implemented in the game. However, it is still far from being finished, with the release date being planned in 2022. Interestingly enough, there will actually be no skill tree. You will get better at your own playstyle by researching ideas that allow you to focus on your own particular playstyle. For example, farming. I think this is actually a really interesting idea, because skill trees I feel like are kind of getting overused. Not so much in indie games, for example, but in AAA games, I feel like every single game just has a skill tree. Even if it's like a shooter, I feel like it's super unneeded, so I'm glad that they're trying to do something different, even if it's not super different. This was actually really surprising to me, but this game actually features no combat, which I think is a really interesting decision and will kind of make the game stand out a bit, because I feel like combat is interesting, but I'm not sure if it would fit with the kind of theme they're going with, so I think it's definitely the right call to not include it, honestly. Because I feel as though they could do something a lot different than the normal kind of cliche game, if you know what I mean. They might still add it, but it would be completely optional and not at all forced on the player if people don't feel comfortable taking part in it. An integral part of the game is the clan system. Essentially, you have to build a clan, you can grow it, you'll be able to give birth to more characters. I know you're probably thinking, will characters in your clan be able to die or something like that? And they're not actually sure. I don't know if that would be super fun, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be completely realistic. They're not trying to make like a hyper-realistic simulation of nomadic time, so I think it's going to be a bit more casual and fun-focused. Another question you're probably on the edge of your seat to know is, will the game be single player or multiplayer? The game will mainly be focused on co-op, so playing with friends, etc. But everything will still be able to be accessed in single player because they understand that some people just like single player and other people prefer multiplayer. So it's good that they're like giving a nice wide range of playstyles that people can experience, so I'm pretty glad with that. Multiplayer will work in a similar way to Stardew Valley. People can drop in and out, but the host must host the world at all times. It also has a 4-player maximum count, so yeah, it's gonna be pretty sick. The main twist they intend to making it different to, say, Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon is the clan system. How it can grow, progress, make more buildings, better tools, get more NPCs for the clan. They think this is the perfect system for the game. You can also develop like the history of your clan over time, which honestly sounds really cool. I'm kind of hyped to play this game now. They have a mining system similar to Stardew Valley, however, it is not exactly the same. Basically, caves will be in the world, and you can find minerals, metals, to create more ideas, to get better tools, etc. The caves will be entirely handcrafted, so not similar to Stardew Valley at all, basically. Another fun fact is that almost the entire game is handcrafted, so none of it is randomly generated, which is pretty cool, actually. And in case you're wondering how the mining will be like any fun at all, they plan on adding lots of puzzles, so they can keep the players nice and engaged without any combat, which I think is a pretty good idea. A few other random facts about the game. The game is planned to last about 40 hours long, with lots of endgame content to keep people playing after the ending. If the game is successful on launch, they could see the game lasting for many, many years with expansions, more updates, etc. They also have some stretch goals that are secrets that could be cool post-release content. Okay, well, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and if you're interested in the game, check out the Kickstarter, and that guy Glenn's video, which pretty much inspired me to make this. It's also a lot more in-depth than mine, so yeah, other than that, see ya.